Ah, there.
Okay, Rush, you might want to mute.
Yes.
Azrina, you here? Okay, so we're live right now. It's a minute to 8 o'clock. I can't see Azrin though. Azrin, are you here? So anyone who's watching this live, if you're on right now, could you send just like, tell us where you're from, pop in a question, it'll get sent to us so I know that people are watching now. Hey guys, tech stuff. I'm just making sure that our guest is on. I'm just going to give you the link again. So this is... So if you guys are here and you're watching this, please, please, please send in a question. So I know that you guys are watching. Guys, can you drop in a question so I know people are actually watching this? And it's taking a little bit longer because... Oh, awesome. Okay, so people have started tuning in. I'm starting getting questions. We have some problems with like picking which chat box would be more suitable for this platform. So next time, definitely going to be using Chatwing. Okay, so I'm just going to check what's happened to my guest because I can't see her in Hangouts. Sorry guys, it's a bit tech stuff. Okay. We've been getting some more. Okay, we're getting some more questions, more hellos. Awesome stuff. Perfect. Okay, so my guest is trying to sort out her internet connection. So while waiting for her, which her section will be much later during the session, and I can start with my bit first. So what I'm gonna do is, you've all seen me now. I'm gonna switch to a PowerPoint slide presentation, and then show my face again right after that. All right? Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen now. Awesome stuff. So hey everyone, welcome to this live webinar of how to manage your life and business like a rock star. Okay, I'm so happy to have you all here, and I can't wait to share with you my personal experiences and how you can manage your life and business like a rock star too. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a structure for today's session. We're going to spend about 2 to 3 minutes on introduction, and then we'll get into the meat and potato of the session, which is what are the 3 steps for you to implement it, and why you've heard about it but never got around to actually doing it, because that happened to me as well. So there's 3 missing ingredients to getting this done right, okay? And then, so I'll share with you what changed for me. So we'll spend about 15 minutes just in this PowerPoint part about me, and then we're going to head straight with Datin Azrin Ahmad. So she's going to share her experience. So she actually holds many hats and many types of roles and responsibilities. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's a daughter, she is a friend, and she owns multiple businesses. And so let's take a sneak peek behind the scenes of how she manages her life and business, right? And then we're gonna hit the Q&As. So while I'm talking and while Datin Nazrin is speaking, go ahead and just pop in your questions, and we'll get back to your questions at the end of the session, okay? And then I'm gonna spend about 10 minutes talking about the programs that I offer, and so you will know what I do and how we can actually work together. Finally, we're gonna announce the winner at the end of the webinar, and so make sure you stay right till the end of this webinar to be in the running to win this color analysis session. And I let Datin Azrin explain more about what the color analysis session is, okay? Okay, so me. I am Pial Kadila, business and success coach. So I help emerging and startup women entrepreneurs create a business and life that they love and they dream of. So I began my entrepreneurial journey about 7 years ago, and I started in custom-made jewelry with my sister-in-law. So that was my first business, right? So what happened in that business was I've always been, into marketing, sales, and all that. So I was supposed to be in charge in that part of the business, and my sister-in-law was in charge of designing the jewelry. So she was a talent behind the business. So we spent quite a bit of time planning it out. I think maybe about 6 months or so into it, and then all of a sudden she decided to have a change of directions and go do something else. So the moment she left the business, I pretty much did not have a business. So lesson number 1 is to ensure that if you're going to start a business, you'd have to own the skills, okay? So that was my first learning as an entrepreneur. Then I continued in natural skincare products. So some of you may or may not know that I spent about 5 years creating my own brand, launched a natural skincare brand called Asia Essentials. And then went the ups and downs as an entrepreneur, and decided that, okay, this wasn't my passion. And I was also working full-time in the Central Bank of Malaysia. And then decided like my life was really chaotic. I had a full-time job, I had a part-time business. I also tried out a MLM company, a multi-level marketing company. And so I was doing so many things at one point. And I also have two lovely sons, and I have my mom who's really close to me. And so I was all over the place, right? And I barely saw my kids as well at one point. And so and so what changed for me. So this is what I want to share with you. So before that, I'm just going to share with you, a small background on myself. I'm a single mom of two lovely young boys. I separated with my husband about almost 5 years ago now, and now I live with my mom together with my boys. So they are pretty much my life. And okay, so this is my mom and two of my boys there. Okay, so now we'll jump straight into the content. I'm just going to quickly check my time and see if Dr. Nazreen is doing fine. Okay, so 10 minutes to the webinar, which is perfect. Okay, guys, so just looking at the 3 steps. I am very sure you've definitely heard of this, right? Time management, goal settings, and implementation. It's been said over and over again, and it's getting pretty cliche. I get it, but we still don't get to do it the right way. We still get into overwhelm. We still feel like we don't have enough time. We still feel like, at least at one point, I was, rushing here, rushing there, trying to do this, everything at the same time. And so I always felt I didn't have time, and especially, getting stuck in traffic and all that was just, really making me angry and all that, because that was like precious time for me, right? And so we're gonna go through the tools of how you're going to be able to manage your time, and then we're also going to go through goal settings, and then what tools I actually use to make it more efficient and to maximize my time. Okay? And so, okay, as we go through time management, the first thing that's important to know is how you actually prioritize your life. Okay? So prioritizing life is a really important thing for you to enable yourself to be able to manage your time well. So different people will have different priorities in life. And so for me now, at the moment, it's my priorities in life is my family, my business, my partner, and myself. Okay? And maybe just a year ago, my priority was myself, my family, my business, and that was it. I didn't have a husband, didn't have a partner, so the pie could have changed, right? But then now I also have education, so then my pie has probably now changed into 5 quadrants. So this is not an equal quadrant. It's just because it's just to show that these are the things which you value in your life. So your pie can look differently than mine. So knowing this is very important, because every time you want to make a decision, you will always see the impact of your decision on your priorities of your life. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, so now this is a snapshot of where I spend most of my time with. Okay, so it's really good to have a snapshot of the time that you're spending on the areas and priorities of your life, so you know where you can tweak stuff around, so you know where you can add on more time to spend on a specific area, and where to reduce your time on. So for me, I spend about 47% of my time on my business, and that includes, my time with my clients, my coaching calls, my discovery sessions, my marketing, my planning, and all that stuff. And also my networking sessions outside of the house, my meetings and appointments with other people for business purposes. So all that I spend about almost 50% of my time. Okay, and then I spend 15% of my time with my kids and mom, and then about 16% on education. So some of you may know that I am currently signed up to 2 high-level certification programs, which is with IIN, the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and Gina DeVries, the Academy. It's a transformational coaching program. And I spend about 10% of my time with my partner, and about 3% on exercising, and 9% on everything else. And so that includes, my travel time, getting stuck in traffic, social time, meeting people out for coffee, and then some me time, just, having massage, going for facials, and the whole shebang, right? So in total, I have 100%. So I know exactly where my time is spent on. And so just by looking at this, I definitely want to increase some parts, especially being able to spend my time with my kids and mom and my partner. And so I know for a fact that once I'm done with my studies by the end of this year, then my education percentage will go down, and then I can allocate more time into kids, mom, partner, and business, depending on how things are. But ideally, what I would want to have is to have my business percentage lowered down, have more income coming in, so I'm able to spread more time for the rest of the stuff, because education is something that I completely believe it's a lifelong thing that we have to have. So we're always learning, or we always have to aim to be learning and developing ourselves and growing ourselves, right? So if you are with me on this, guys, right, if you want to spend more time with the people who matter in your life, and you want to reduce your working hours, then we are a perfect fit, okay? Because that's how exactly I help my tribe, my community, to help them be able to launch a business, have a passive income, while they can focus on what really matters, right? So actually half of our time, 50% of this time, is pretty much, it's a general percentage for a lot of people, because I made this calculation 2 days ago, and I took pretty much, in 8 to 6 p.m. So we start working 8 to 6 times 5 days, and so basically it's pretty much a normal person's working hours. So every one of us, included the ones who are having a 9-to-5 job, if you're working for other people. So generally you would be spending this amount of time on your work as well. So wouldn't it be lovely if you could actually reduce that and put that in more into spending time with your family? And so, going back to the previous slide, I had a little quadrant that says extended family. So if you're married, then it's natural for you to want to spend more time with your in-laws, with that family and that side of the family, and so then you're able to manage your time well. So this is pretty much a snapshot of how my time is spent with people. So think about how yours would look like, right? Or start looking at how you'll be able to find out how you'll be able to split this. So how I did it was, I basically took an average of the time that I slept, which is 7 hours on average. And so let's say 30, we have 30 days. So 30 days times 24 hours, right? So then I think it's about 720, and then you minus 7 hours of sleep. So that's 7 times 30. And basically it gives me a time of 510 hours in a month to play with. So then I split, okay, so how many hours I spend on work, divide that by 510 times 100%, and then I get my percentages. So that's how you would be able to work it out as well. If you have any questions, just please pop it into the question box, and I'll come to it right at the end, right? Okay, now, talking about goal setting. So now you kind of like already have a snapshot of where you're spending your time and all that. And so you want to be able to focus on what needs to get done first. So for me, when I was in my business, running Asia Essentials, I was pretty much doing everything. I learned so much about marketing, about sales and all that. And I was pretty much doing also many types of different marketing strategies, implementing them, and I was doing a lot of networking, and I didn't really know where my efforts was giving me the best results. So that was actually a waste of time, because I couldn't monitor, I couldn't measure which strategy was working the best for me. And so because I didn't have set goals, so that was the reason why I was like a chicken scrambling for food, right? Because I didn't know where to go. So after a while, I realized I had big goals, right? I knew that I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted to own my own business. I knew that I wanted to have freedom of time, be location independent. I kind of like knew all that, but I didn't know exactly how to get there. Okay, because it was a very general vision, and it was difficult to want to focus. So now, with the help of having mentors, speaking to like-minded friends, and also being able to really know what I want by creating a vision board for myself, that really, really helped me to know, how I would imagine my life in the next 5 to 10 years. Okay, so I'm just gonna check something out if you don't mind, because I need to see if Datin Azrin is online. And yes, I can see you now. Awesome stuff. You're here. Perfect. Okay, welcome, Datin Azrin. It's so nice to have you online. So I'm just gonna finish off the presentation, and then we'll start off with your session. Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And so now we're talking about long-term goals. And so my vision board has New York, Paris, Miami, Valencia. So I have all this stuff on it, like, where exactly I want to go, where I want to be in the next year, in the next 3 years. So it's really, really amazing, right? So I know I want to travel the world, but I know exactly where I want to go, right? So once I know exactly where I want to go, I can budget for it. So for example, this year alone, I knew that I was going to go to Sydney. I know that I'm going to go to Singapore, and I know that I'm going to be going to LA, and then I know that I'll be going to Italy. So that's 4 places for me just this year. That's where I want to go. So I manifest for it, and I work towards achieving that goal. So that's like that's actually a shorter term goal. So the point is, once you have your long-term goals, and then you move on to your small goals, right? So I've broken it down to income goal, personal goals, and work and career goals. Okay, so for example, I want an income goal of 5,000 a month, and my personal goals is to actually go for holiday, spend quality time with my partner, be more spiritual, be more in tune with myself. And in terms of my working and career goals, I would like to ideally work with 2 to 3 clients per month, okay? And so now knowing what my small goals and my short-term goals are, so it's easier to work backwards in order for me to achieve that, right? So I've already gone past the 20-minute mark, and I cannot get into it deeper than what it is to explain to you how I'd be able to get 5K a month, okay? So here's where my program, which I will share with you later on, I can tell you, in that program, we will cover exactly how you'll be able to achieve your income goal of 5K per month, and as well as integrate all your other personal goals together with your work and career goals. So that's goal setting, guys. Okay, so now implementing your goals. My business is very much internet-based and very much online-based. So I pretty much need a laptop and an internet to be able to function. So I can function anywhere. So even if I'm traveling, I am now location independent, pretty much a freedom entrepreneur, which is amazing. And so what are the tools that I have used for myself in order to make my journey easier, and for me to free up time for me to be able to work on the things that I love, and to delegate the things which are not so important, or which are things that I pretty much don't like to do as much, or like to do less, like to what's the word for it? Okay, I'm not so good at it perhaps, or if I were to outsource it, somebody could do it within 10 minutes, whereas I would take maybe 3 hours to do it. Okay? Okay, so what are the tools that I use on a daily basis and a lot is these are some of them that I've listed down, but obviously I have a whole ton more depending on what type of business you're in. So for me, Evernote is amazing. Like, I literally put down my thoughts, I journal in it. All my business ideas come through there. All my downloads that I get during the day or just anytime, I put in Evernote. It gets automatically refreshed, and I can share my notes with other people. It makes working and collaboration super simple. And then I use Dropbox and Google Drive to save like files, so I don't run out of space on my laptop and on my desktop. This is also really, really easy to use because you can just share it with other people if you're working with a team, or even just to share between yourself and your partner. And also for me, you know, as you remember my first quadrant, I put a lot of priority on myself, my soul, my mind, to make sure that I am completely well taken care of. And so one of my big goals right now is to ensure I get a good night's sleep. I haven't been getting good night's sleep for quite a long time because, you know, of my business. I've been working like crazy and all that. And now finally that I've gotten my systems and structures and processes in place, I want to focus more on my health and well-being, right? So I actually use this app. It's called Sleep Cycle, and it can monitor my sleep at night and tells me, like, you know, the quality of sleep that I have, and if I get into a deep sleep and which nights are better. So I can monitor like the day, for example, if I went to the gym and then I'm able to sleep better that night, or if I'm just walking around, or if it's a hectic day. So I kind of like can relate the activities that I've done for the day and then see whether, you know, is my sleep affected by my daily activities. It's an awesome app. I absolutely love it. And then for my marketing applications, another example of an app that I use frequently is WordSwag. So that's where I put like my quotes. Use a lot of pictures because I love visuals. That gets connected to my Facebook and my Instagram and just posted. That's really super fast to use. There's this calendar, online calendar that I use. It's called calendarsthatwork.com. Okay, so it gives you so many different formats of the calendar, and you can just print out a month, and you can write down everything that you have scheduled. So I have, which I'll show it to you later on. So I have mine printed out month on month. So I only put like each month on my desktop so I can see what's happening for me during the month. And so for me, this is really handy because I have to plan for my social media calendar for my business, and this works out beautifully, and it's free. Then I also have virtual assistants who work with me. Oh, this is such a sigh of relief. I mean, having a business, doing everything alone and solo is really, really horrible. I've been doing solopreneur for like the last 5 years, and the thing is that I did try to get help, but I've always been unlucky, and there were several reasons for that, obviously, which I'm not going to go into. And then finally, obviously, I have a helper that I get help with to help manage the kids in my house, so I'm able to do the things that I enjoy more. Okay. So thank you for, okay, this is the end of the PowerPoint presentation, so I'll just leave it at that. And now I want to get into getting to know Ms. Datin Azreen. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, but then you're still seeing my screen, right? So I'm going to stop that so everybody can see you and I. Hi, we're back. Okay. So Chatwing is ready, which is a different platform for the chat. I don't know whether this is working fine. So Rosh, just tell me if people can actually type into Chatwing. Okay, cool. So that's it, Azreen. Tell us a bit more about yourself, your background, and who you really are.
Well, as you quite aptly put it during your introduction, I am a mother, first and foremost. I am a wife. I'm married to the MasterChef Celebrity of Malaysia winner, Season 1. And we manage a bistro together as one of our businesses. I'm also a certified professional image consultant and certified image master, so I'm a trainer as well. And a cake artist at the same time. So 3 different things that I do, but all in all, we manage as much as we can.
Okay, that's great. So basically, how do you manage your time?
Well, it's a lot of discipline, really. It really takes a lot of discipline. It's basically, if I could tell you a rundown of my day, it begins at 5:30 in the morning. And then, obviously, for me, because I'm very dedicated to my kids, and I always made a promise to myself that no matter what business I was doing or no matter how successful I was, I would still devote time to my kids. So I'd send my kids to school, and then only then does everything else start happening. So I would allocate time for my kids, and then I'd allocate time for my business. My meetings will start generally from 10 o'clock until 12. Then I'm off to pick the kids up again. And then lunch, I have another lunch meeting, pick up the other two elder ones from school because they finish at 2, and then begin meetings again. So I've got 3 sets of meetings during the day if I'm not training. And if I am, then what happens is we leave someone, a responsible adult with the kids, namely my husband, and I go out to train maybe 2-3 days a week, or as it happens this month, because I've reached pretty much my goals and my targets, it's 5 days or 7 days a week training for the whole month. So I've been gone a lot from home. So it does take a
Wow.
lot of discipline, yeah. And like you, I do use my calendar a lot. I don't use fancy stuff or any type of apps or anything. It's just the iPhone calendar that's already there.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is I actually segregate my time. And so I highlight things in red for the children, and then blue for my time, and then green for my husband's time, and time devoted to the bistro. And then I have to fit in everything else, and that's in pink. So very color coordinated I am.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So, in terms of like your day-to-day life, how would a day look for you when you're not training?
When I'm not training, it's as a mom. So
Mhm.
5:30 I get up and I get rid of all the chores that I need to do. By 6:30 I'm showered, and then I've got to dress my kids to get ready for school. School run starts at 7:30, and because of the traffic in Malaysia, what happens is we get stuck in traffic. And so by about 10 I'm done with school runs. And if I'm not having a meeting, what I do is I go to the bistro with my husband, and I actually moonlight as a waitress or front of house as well. And
Mhm.
if there are cake orders, that needs to be settled. So I have to divide my time depending on what hat I'm wearing during that week or during that day. So it ranges. It really does if I'm not training. And then I also have my personal clients. So my color analysis, my body analysis, my personal brandings and personal change coachings and stuff.
Okay, let's talk about goals, right? Do you have, uh, like, how do you know how to prioritize your time? Do you have big goals and small goals? How do you work that out?
Before I actually start on the goals, what I normally ask myself is how much is my time worth? Because my dedication has always been children first. So if I do go out to work, the kids need to be settled. And again, I would always put time out for them. And so my long-term goal, obviously, long-term number one, is to spend time with my kids as much as possible before they get to become teenagers and then they don't want mommy anymore. It's the formative years right now where everything is always mommy, mommy, mommy. When they get into the car, it's 2,000 times mommy. Really, really take care. And I've got 3 boys. So mommy, the word mommy happens a lot. And it needs to be addressed and taken care of. And then my other long-term goals, I don't have very many except for the fact that there are bills to pay. I mean, in the economic situation in Malaysia right now, it's very difficult because of the turmoil as well. So I really need to set my budgeting really, really tightly. And again, that is where, before I set my goals, the number one question is, how much is my time worth? How much am I worth?
Hmm.
And
And
so
what is the answer to that?
the answer to that is a lot, because I invested obviously a lot of time in education. I invested a lot of money in certification programs to upskill myself. And my time away from my family, which is the gold time for me, that is priceless. So to name a price, normally it would be an hourly rate, or what I've actually done is how much would I reasonably hope to earn a day. So it's per day.
Okay. That's
And then from there, the term goals will be different. So
that's interesting that you've mentioned about what your time is worth, because I actually teach this in one of my programs. basically to know how
Mhm.
much you're worth in order for you to know if it's worth your time to actually carry out a task, right? So for
Exactly.
example, if for example, like, you know, if somebody who's going to do the housework, or somebody's going to help take care of the kids, you know, so let's say if my time is worth $27 an hour, and to hire somebody else to do it would cost me $10. So then it would be, I would save 1 hour to hire somebody to do that task, because it will be cheaper. It will be a savings of $17. So this is part
Mhm.
of the thing that I also teach in my program, which is interesting that you brought that up, because that's a really important thing to know in order for us to be able to delegate our time wisely. So
Yeah,
do you have help?
I do. I have two beautiful and kind-hearted ladies who help me out as house helpers. Um, if I'm at home, I take care of the kids. They spend time 100% with me, so I get them ready for school. I shower them, I feed them, pretty much cuddle them. But when I'm out of the house, that's when the helpers actually step in. Or even if, say, for example, I have to work, the bistro has, the way it works is the cake orders are done in a private kitchen. So if I'm spending time in the private kitchen because there's a big cake order, then obviously one helper will step in to take care of the kids and the other one will take care of the housework whilst I'm doing whatever I need to do to make money so that I can actually pay them for their time.
Okay, it's interesting again
So,
that you brought this up, yeah, because I just wanted to mention that I have had clients and friends, and, you know, just people that I talk to where they're mothers and they feel guilty. So they have this guilt of wanting to let other people take care of the kids, or for them not doing the work themselves. Okay, so
mhm,
you know, it's an interesting part where it's good that we're having this conversation, because obviously, you know, they want to cook for their husbands, they want to take care of the kids because they feel that that's their responsibility, and they don't dare to want to let go of the responsibility to take care of their child, and that's why they find that they don't have time to want to be able to run their own business. So it's really
mhm.
important to kind of like change that mindset a little bit, to be a bit more
Yeah,
flexible and open-minded. And do you
yeah,
agree with me on this, right?
yeah. I mean,
So, you know, it's about. Did you have something to say? Yeah, go for it.
yeah. It's always. I think it's always about attitude for gratitude. Whatever you put in, that's what you get. And so you
Ah,
always must make sure that it's all about your attitude. It's an adjustment. I felt guilty when I first started leaving the house because I needed to teach a dance lesson, or I needed to go and see a client for a personal consultation, or even to have a meeting. I did. I mean, I can't lie. I did initially feel that guilt. But at the same time, it's always about looking at things in a positive way as well. And when you start looking at things in a positive way, positive things start happening to you. So things like suddenly your calendar is cleared, your time is cleared, suddenly people are willing to help you, suddenly people are willing to be more understanding of you. And to make that transition from being a stay-at-home mom into a mompreneur or even a super mom, whatever you want to call it, it's not easy because you have to make that attitude adjustment here and here. And you have to remember and realize that what you're doing is actually helping out with the household, you're helping out with income, you're helping out with making a better future for the kids. I mean, for example, let's take schooling. In Malaysia, it's expensive, especially if it's private school. And so those bills need to get paid. And if you have three kids, for me, for example, I've got three kids, 6, 5, and 4. They all need to go to school at the same time. And so we're paying about 20,000 a term just in school fees. That's on the household income. And for me to say, yeah, I can stay at home, I'll take care of the kids, and my husband can go and find, bring back the bread and everything, that puts unnecessary stress on him. And as we know, sometimes which is better for you at that given situation, and make that adjustment. And you have to make sure that whatever excuses that you come up with, you have to sit down and say, is that a valid excuse? Is it because you're you're the one that's stopping yourself from going out to get what you want and to start what you need to start. Or whether it's just something that's happened and you really, really cannot start at that particular moment in time. So you got to make that balance yourself. And once you find that you change your attitude yourself in your heart and in your mind, and you get the intentions right, then things start going smoothly. That was what happened. Mama, where are you going? And as you can see, there's one little baby here. Say hi.
Hello, hi.
I'm not going anywhere, baby. I'm having a class, okay?
See, so there you go. This is really, really interesting, Dr. Nazreen. I mean, what you've highlighted there are exactly the points that I myself went through once upon a time and felt that guilt and, you know, had to go through that whole transitioning of being able to change my attitude. And I love that quote that you just said, which is, you know, attitude is gratitude, right? And basically, if you're able to show to other people and allow yourself to ask for help from other people, and you will get it, right? So, for example, like I have clients coming to me and saying, you know, well, I don't know whether I can do it or not. I don't know whether I'm going to be, if I'm going to have time to want to do it. I don't know whether I'm able to do the sales and marketing because, you know, I'm limited with time. So there's a lot of time factor. There's also a lot of fear factor, and it's completely understandable because we always fear of the unknown, right? So it's all about the mindset. So if you're able to set tangible things, which are in terms of your goal, if you're able to imagine and visualize that and put it on a vision board, and then work your way backwards, that will help in terms of transitioning and helping to change that mindset, right? Because when you see what you can potentially achieve, then that will actually push you to want to push the boundaries and the limits that you have, or in fact, a lot of them come from yourself. A lot of limits that you feel you have in your life are limitations that you put on yourself, right? And so basically, you know, the point is that these are the action steps that I've never had this discussion with Dr. Nazreen. Honestly, this is the first time I've spoken to her, and for both of us, it's very similar to how she's come to the point that she's at right now, and to the point that I've come to right now. And I can see the similarities as well. That the moment you have a mindset change, and the moment you have a goal, and you have a push, and you have a motivation to want to get somewhere, you will get things done.
Yeah. And to get things done, you need to write things down. You need to stop feeling as though, oh my God, this is going to be overwhelming, because let's face it, a business, if you treat it as a hobby, it will always be a hobby. But if you treat the business as a business, then the returns will start showing as though it's a business. And so you really need to make sure that you start it from the beginning. You need to sit down and you need to think about your business plan. You need to do a SWOT analysis, which is your strength, your weaknesses, what your opponents or whatever the other people are doing that's right in that. And then you've also got to think about all the tools and the professionalism that you need to have in order to gain your own identity as well. And then you need to start thinking, okay, from here, then you assess how much time is needed for each thing. Each of the things that you have and that you've listed down, you need to then do a Gantt chart. You need to have time. Okay, I'll get this done by this time, this thing done by this time. When you have a look at this, the list, when you list it down without the timings, you get overwhelmed. But if you list it down with the timing slightly clearer, what you need to do, and then you just cross out as and when it comes. So you prioritize the list. So for me, I started out my business with what? $900 US, which is 2,500, which is just to register a company. And that was pretty much how much savings I had in the bank, believe it or not. We didn't have anything else. And to sit down and actually realize that there's a lot of things that I need to do. There's a lot of things that I can't afford. There's a lot of time that I can't afford. Well, actually you can. There is a lot of time that we actually make excuses for ourselves because we're doing other things when we could actually be doing it for the business. And then you start splitting things. When my boys are asleep, pretty much in the beginning, like you, I didn't get much sleep. So I would work from, say, about 8 o'clock at night right through until 4 o'clock in the morning, starting up my business. I didn't have money to hire a website person, so I learned how to design my own website. It took 3 months. It was really slow, but I did it. You know, so it's possible. Everything is possible. We have to start thinking of it as we are the ones in control. We have to stop thinking that there's other things that's controlling us. There's other factors that control us. 95% of the time, we only can't control what happens to other people on that day, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah, that's beautiful advice, Datin. So can you share with us, do you have any mentors or coaches that you work with to help you out as well?
Not per se. My coach or my mentor is actually a lady called Farial, and she's the one that was responsible for training me all the way until my certified image master. And when I first started in the image industry and building up my business as an image professional, she mentored me in theoretical knowledge and then how to actually build up my business so that it becomes an international presence. And after that, what happened is when I started training and when I started taking the franchise to train other aspiring image consultants, I myself became the mentor. And the relationship between my mentor and I, Farial and I, have evolved from being a mentor-mentee into partners and into friendship. So it's more of a give and take as opposed to a teacher to a program. All I need to do is call her up and I'll say, look, this is my view, this is my opinion, and it would be better for business if this were to happen. And we'd mull over it. So it's more become of like an equal standing now.
Yep.
Yeah. But
That's
she
really,
was initially my mentor.
okay, so that's an insight that, even though you're, working on your business, there's still somebody that you look up to kind of like give you guidance and directions. Or somebody did lead you
Oh, yeah.
towards your success now.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to choosing a mentor or a person that you look up to, my advice is don't just look up to someone that's successful. Look up to someone that you can trust. Build a relationship with someone that you can trust, as opposed to who charges the cheapest or who looks as though they're the most glamorous or the most successful. So you really need to do your due diligence as to who would be the most suitable person for you to actually look up to. And what happens then is if you are like-minded and you are like-souled, what happens is it becomes a proper relationship and a long-term relationship, and it binds you in a way that the responsibility is different compared to other people.
I have to say that you've been very lucky to be able to find a mentor who's like-minded and who's able to guide and mentor you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I had a different storyline. I had people, family members surrounding me, as well as friends who were always giving advice and all that. But the thing is, none of them like went through with me step by step. So I was still always lost. And
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't get that guidance until I myself hired myself a coach. And that was when things started to change for the better for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's not so easy nowadays to want to find a mentor who's there with you every step of the way, unless you're related or you're doing a course, or if there's a similar goal that you're working together with the person, that you're
Mm-hmm.
doing the path that person has walked,
Yeah.
right? So here's the part that I feel still having a mentor and coach, like you said, is really important to help pull you through.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you agree as well on that point.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm gonna have to say it's 8:45, so we have about 15 minutes left. It's so great to have you with us on today's live webinar. Could you just explain in a couple of minutes on what the color analysis session is, and then we'll go ahead and get the audience today to answer a question on my fan page, and then we'll announce the winner right after this.
Okay. Well, the color analysis, basically everyone is divided into groups based on they are skin undertone as opposed to their skin overtone, which is normally what you say, yellow or beige or dark skinned or light skinned. So it's based on your personal coloring itself. And what happens is everyone can wear any color. It's just a matter of pinpointing which shade you can use. And so the color analysis helps you in the sense that if you wear the right colors in your vital V, as we are now whilst we're talking, whilst we're chatting, the head all the way down to the shoulders. If you're going to wear the right colors, then you're going to start to look younger, you're going to look vibrant, you're going to look professional. You can start to play psychology with people without actually opening your mouth. You can actually communicate non-verbally through colors that you choose as well. If you wear the wrong colors, then what's going to happen is you're going to look tired, you're going to look older, you're going to look sicker. And we don't want that. In a professional world, it's all about impressions and it's all about perception. So the color analysis session will help you pinpoint whether you are a winter, an autumn, a spring, or a summer, and beyond that. And we can actually find the correct groups of colorings that you can use. And what happens is you get a swatch of colors or a list of colors that you can then start to build your wardrobe on so that you get an ROI. You shop for colors that actually suit you, and you don't have to think about it. It's no longer a science. Anything that you pull out of your wardrobe is going to match, so you don't have to worry about it.
That's amazing. So on the same note, they can also use this to match their branding personality, right?
That's right, because a lot of the times when you are going into corporate branding and you need to think about building a business, your logo is important, your colors are important, and so those things actually matter as well because it needs to reflect your personality. When you are going into a branding exercise, it needs to be harmonious with who you are and the message that you want to send to people.
Okay. Okay, so what's going to happen is I want all the audience who are tuning in a number between 1 and 20. Okay, so once you have that number, go post it up on my fan page, and then I will have selected a number. So any number that matches that will win this free color analysis session, and it's an amazing giveaway that you can actually now have an analysis done to know what are your colors, and so you can use this for your personal brand, which is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to open the floor now to questions and answers. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat box right now so we can answer them live. And in the meantime, I'm just going to recap and summarize our today's session. So a couple of things that Dakin mentioned, and also I want to recap, is setting up goals, right? So when you have the intention to want to set up the goals, make sure it's SMART goals. So some of you may have and may have not heard of SMART goals. And so SMART goals are literally S meaning specific, M meaning measurable, A is attainable, R is realistic, and T is timely. So when you're setting a goal, bear in mind all these traits. So for you to be able to set a goal that's attainable and it's basically realistic in the time that you have. So, and I also mentioned that there was 3 key ingredients that was missing for me when I was having this havoc in my life compared to before and now, and those 3 missing ingredients are clarity. Having clarity is so important. It took me 2 years to want to find that clarity for a lot of things, especially in my business. Just defining my target market and who my ideal clients were took me a year. Yes, that long. Okay, and then focus. So like Dr. Nazrin mentioned, discipline, being disciplined and having that focus. So once you have that clarity, then you're able to focus. You're not all over the place. I promise you that you will get out of overwhelm if you follow this step-by-step instructions. And the last one is your motivation. What motivates you? Is it your kids? Is it your husband? Is it your parents? Who motivates you? Is it for yourself that you wanna be somebody for yourself? So who are you showing up for? What is it that motivates you? Keep that in mind. Always remember that. Always be in a space of gratitude, and changing your mental mindset as well to want to be able to open up yourself, to want to receive, ask for help. That's very important. So these are the ways, proven ways, done by me as well as Datin, and for you to be able to implement in your life as well. And then you will find, again, I promise you that you will find this easier for you, and you will realize that you actually will have the time to want to start a business. And why is it that I am so passionate about my women starting a business? Is because I am all for women having that financial freedom, having that passive income, especially in our economy now and what's happening globally. Things are changing so fast, so at such a fast pace. If you're not like catching up, then you're going to be obsolete, and then you're going to find yourself like you could be okay now living averagely, but then once you grow older, you won't be able to support your lifestyle anymore. So it's really important to have that passive income. So this is what I'm for. Okay, so now I'm gonna spend about 5 to 10 minutes talking to you about a bit about my program. So I have a one-day intensive. Okay, that's for $750, and I have a 3 months one-on-one coaching package, which is for $3,000. So why is it so important to have a one-on-one session? Is because it's for me and you to work together to find that clarity. Once you find that clarity, you're able to focus on the things that matter. And it's for you to be able to cut short your time, your energy, your effort, and to save money, especially because when you're trying things out on your own, it will take time. I 100% guarantee you that, because I went through that. And in terms of like spending money unnecessarily, you will not know where to want to focus your efforts on, because you want to try everything and everyone says different things. So you need to find, because you have your own unique ways, right? So that's what we work together. Your strengths. What are the things that you have to delegate out, and what are the areas and things that you should be focusing on? Okay, so. And if you are serious about this, and if you want to take action, so this is the time. Okay, I have my package for the one-day VIP intensive. I have 8 more spaces available for the introductory price offer, which is $500. Otherwise, it's $750, where we spend a whole day together talking about your business goals, your income goals, and your personal and career goals. What do you want to achieve? And then we have a 30-day action plan for you to be able to build a foundation around there and to get started now. So this is time. This is time, okay? Don't wait anymore. So, okay, I'm just gonna hop on to my fan page now to see your favorite number of 1 to 20. I don't see anyone posting. So you just have to hop onto my fan page, which is Piel Cadilla on Facebook, and then just put in the number of 1 to 20, and then you'll be in the running to win this color analysis session. Yes. Do you have any questions, guys? Yes. Yes. So Nilgan has asked, you are a business and success coach and you want to attract both business women and businessmen. What will be the best colors to reflect you and your business? Is that correct, Nilgan? So what happens is when you go for the color analysis, right, there will be the result will show you what colors are suitable for you. So once you have that colors, all you got to do is you just have to use those colors to reflect you. So you have an idea. For example, the colors that you like, maybe it's red or blue, and then once you do the color analysis, you realize like, oh, my colors are actually, green, baby blue, or different colors completely. So then okay, so when you're taking photos, especially when you're doing your personal branding, you want to wear colors that will match your branding colors. So if if, for example, you've picked like, you know, red and black, and then realize that through the color analysis that you're actually a pink and a green, then when you're going to be doing your photo shoot, you're going to have to be using your branding colors instead of your colors that would suit you, if that makes sense. Hope that answers your question, Nilgan. So can we have anyone post the favorite numbers? Let's see. Do you have any more questions? Okay, we have. Okay, the number that I had, I can't see because all of you haven't posted yet. Or should I say it first? Okay, the number that I had in my mind. But if I say it first, then you haven't posted. Okay, let's have the first person who posted on my fan page. Okay, that would be much easier. Okay, so Freudis, is it? How do I pronounce your name? Oh my gosh, Freudis Eggy Jacobson. I hope I got that right. Okay, so congratulations, you win the session because you were the first to post. Good job on taking action. Fast action, fast results. So awesome stuff. We will be emailing you all the details. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying right till the end of the webinar. It's exactly 9 o'clock now. I'm so happy I managed to stay within the time frame of 60 minutes. So hope to see you guys again, and hope you enjoyed the webinar and you have a lot of takeaways from this webinar. Good luck and all the best with your business. And if you would like to have a discovery call with me, hop onto my website. I will just it will be on my page. I will put up the website and the link for you to be able to schedule a discovery call with me. All the best, ladies. Bye. Bye, Datin.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us on the webinar.
My pleasure.
Oh, Datin, let me just tell you this. The lady who won your color, because I didn't see you earlier. I thought you had left the chat.
Oh, yeah, because the reception is really, really bad, so it keeps, like, cutting out.
I see you much better now. It's much clearer. So we have a winner, and the winner is Miss Freudis Egg Jacobson.
Okay, and where is she?
I'm not sure where she's from, but we'll get in touch with you. I will PM you, and then you'll give us the details, and we'll get back to you.
Sure.
Okay? No. Awesome stuff. Okay, thank you. Bye.